Getting it now. What's up, guys? My name's Tyler. This is Sean. We're with Rendered Reality, coming at you on a Friday night. How about that, man? We have not done a Friday night show, I don't think, have we?
I don't think, no. I think we usually do Saturday mornings. I think we've done a couple Sunday evenings, but I don't think we've ever done a Friday night show. So a late night Friday night kind of for some people, at least for us. You know, on the East Coast, it's a little bit later, but we still West Coast a little early.
Yeah, I'd be playing some VR by now if I probably wasn't on here. I know I don't have much to do tonight since you know you're leaving, so you're packed up, you're ready to go.
Yeah, I'm leaving tomorrow, but it's just a quick trip, so I'm leaving tomorrow morning. That's the only reason we're not doing the show Saturday morning. I am leaving tomorrow morning, but I'll be back on Sunday at some time. So.
Yeah, I'm not going to be around either. I'm going to a car show, so I'm going to be MIA as well. But yeah, we'll definitely come back at you. And I know we want to get a little play session, and I'd love to on Sunday. So I'm still shooting for that. And I guess some people on Discord were saying maybe they're joining us in VR for this show.
I heard somebody was going to be doing a big screen airing of this show, possibly.
Which is awesome.
So you might be able to check that out in big screen.
Yeah, if you guys want to jump in there too, I don't know. Maybe it's up, maybe not. If not, it'd be awesome to host that. Super cool.
I am is and isn't was saying that he might do that. So
yeah, that's awesome. That's really cool. But yeah, today, let's see. This show we got VReady, which is super cool new game coming out. It's a shooter, and he's got tons of stuff planned for this game. I know we were kind of talking about it earlier, and we'll get into that. We're going to talk about all the new Oculus updates. Which there are a bunch coming, especially to the Quest, I think, even now. Yeah. Ton of new game trailers too, which we're really excited about. Stuff really nobody's much talked about. One of them I'm kind of really excited about, which is Crunch Element, and I don't know why. Like visually, to me, this game is like on point. Like everything about it, I feel like
it's very
just
colorful,
like
for sure.
Colors, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And especially for the Index, man, because those colors are just gonna pop. I'm super excited about that. And I think we do have a video of that as well.
Yep.
But what are you drinking out of?
I stole my wife's chip cup. I thought it would be great for this episode.
Oh my gosh! What's that from? Is that from like Beauty and the Beast? Or something?
You don't know Chip Cup? Come on, she is gonna be mad at you. So we do have the dev of VReady in here as well, and that is N1LSSON. So Nielsen. I'm not sure what that stands for.
Yeah,
but
awesome.
So he is the dev of that game, so he's going to be in here and chat. And once we show some video of that and talk about that a little bit more, you can feel free to ask him any questions. He'll be able to answer anything you got about that game. So
yeah, it really helps when devs come in too, just because everybody has questions. You know, when we drop all these new games and stuff, it's so helpful when they're in here just to, you know, answer anything that people ask, because everyone's got a million questions and we don't always know all the answers. You know,
and it's hard for us to keep up with chat sometimes too. If we get on a ramble and we start talking, sometimes we miss good questions. So hopefully, you know, if you do have a good question, hopefully he can get to that too a little bit better than we can. So
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so why don't we get into let's get into Crunch Element, man. Can we show a little bit of this? I've been super excited like all week to talk about this game. I really am.
Let's show this trailer.
It looks so good. I don't know what about it. Even like the gun effects, like when you shoot and everything, the blocking, like you can see there.
Is this the one that's totally destructible environment? Yeah, that's always cool. I always like that.
There you go. Yep. Yeah, which it just gives it more, you know, interactions and everything. But right there, you can see like when you kill people, the headshots, the point counts, you know, looks so cool.
It is
smashing stuff. It's just totally different, you know. I mean, you know, it's still a shooter, and don't get me wrong, there's a lot of shooters out now.
But too. I love shooters.
I do too. I really do. This one just looks really, really fun. Something about it, I don't know, it just looks different. So I'm looking for something different like that. So I've been really excited about that game. I don't know.
They don't have a release date yet. It says just to be announced, so they don't have an actual release date. But it says blast through destructible compounds and slay cyborgs in virtual reality. Take cover as the chunks of wall, lead, and lasers whiz past your head as you prepare to return fire with a weapon that is unique to your playstyle. So that'll be pretty cool.
Yeah, it does. I think it looks like a lot of fun. Do you see all the gun? Like when you shoot, you see like that, not that space warp, but you know where the occlusion from the blast,
where it gets kind of blurry and stuff in your face.
Yeah,
and stuff like that.
I like that.
It
That
is pretty
looks
cool.
really cool.
So it just says coming
just
soon
little
to be
things.
announced. Yeah, we don't know for sure when that one is coming, but you were pretty excited about that. You actually showed me that one. I haven't actually seen that one or heard anybody talk about that yet. I don't know if anybody else has seen that yet, but
I wanted to talk about it last week on our show, but we ran out of time on our last show. We never got to talk about it.
Yeah.
Which kind of sucked because I really wanted to talk about it then, but
yeah.
like,
we had a dev on.
wait, so.
We had a dev on last week, so we kind of were getting. We had a time when we told him we were going to call him, so we were trying to get through a bunch of stuff right before, getting in contact with him and getting him on. So there was a couple things we missed last week. I think that we wanted to talk about, but it happens.
Yeah. So in chat, did you see what VR Mang was saying about stuff popping up on the Quest? I actually haven't seen that. He said, "What do you guys think about apps appearing out of thin air on the Quest? Prime Video VR and please don't touch
you mean
anything."
just like things nobody's been talking about? Like we didn't hear really anything about Amazon Prime Video.
Like they're just dropping.
Yeah, they're just dropping that. I think it's good because the problem is that I think the Quest is kind of, I don't know, there's just not a lot of stuff constantly coming out for it. And I think that is kind of crucial right now because that is a headset that they're wanting mass adoption on. So
I actually think a lot of it has to do with the approval process. Through Oculus. So I think all these, these studios and devs and stuff are submitting their games and they're just kind of in limbo waiting for them to be approved.
Right.
And maybe they don't even know, maybe it's just like, it'll be approved when it's approved, and they push it out there.
Well, I think it's a pretty crazy process.
We don't know that,
and the devs that we've talked to really can't tell us a whole lot about that process. So
after last week's show,
there's been everybody we've talked to has really been like, we can't really get into that. We can't get into the process of getting approved on Oculus or on Quest. So I don't know what that is all about. Like, I don't know why they're so secretive about that, but it's definitely, that's definitely going to slow things down. I'm sure it's not a very easy process to get through. So yeah. It's kind of unfortunate.
But at least it's coming. At least they're coming, trickling out slowly. Better than holding them back, I guess, or releasing them all at once. I don't know.
It seems like lately we're getting, at least something almost every week now, I feel like. So every week we're getting at least one thing. And, I don't know when the next big thing. I know that that kayaking shooter game is coming, and I think that's going to be the next big one that we know of. But we do have a little bit of stuff to get into about the Oculus Go emulator that's going to be coming for the Quest. So if that's going to happen to where you can access a lot of the Go games on the Quest, that is going to help increase the library some, because there's a lot of stuff that people have never played that's on the Go. The Go has some stuff that's really less than desirable, but it also has some stuff that's really good. And like that one,
my wonder is, what if you bought stuff though on the Go? Is that gonna carry? I'm sure not. I don't. Maybe it.
I would think so. If you own it, you own it on the Go, on the store for the Go, the storefront for the Go, I'm sure you'd be able to play it in the Quest through the emulator, right?
I guess. If it's,
I don't know.
I guess
that would be my thought, but
I know. I would hope. It just seems like the way that Oculus is kind of going with all their game sales and keeping things exclusive. I guess you can't call it an emulator, though. It would be a port, at that point. So, I don't know.
Yeah. That's what they're calling it, some kind of emulator. I'm not real sure, but...
Right.
Yeah. So, I don't know.
Yeah. I know.
We'll see.
Yeah, so what other updates were there, too? The Quest has some updates.
Yeah,
they're getting venues, right?
Yes, they are getting venues, which is pretty cool. Yeah. I haven't really messed with venues a lot. I don't know about you, but, I know there's, some concerts and stuff, and you can actually, get a group of people to go to these things together, which is actually... I need to revisit it, because I've done a little bit of it in the past, and I haven't looked at it in a long time, to be honest, so I do need to...
I just like the fact that if you're sitting in the stands watching something, there's literally other people there beside you that you can talk to and see. So it just gives you that social aspect. It does really feed that. So I do like the fact.
And I haven't tried it with anybody else. I've just kind of popped into a couple things here and there, a while back or whatever. But I don't know, because I think they had it on the Go, but.
The video, I think, just needs to be a little improved.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm wondering, if it has improved. You know what I mean? Because I haven't been in there, so I know they have made improvements since I've been in there in video and stuff. So I'm not sure, but as far as some of the updates to the Quest, we had the Rift S updates with the controller tracking and all of that stuff, where you have much improved tracking close to the face and everything, and that is coming to Quest as well. So that is going to be, I think the updates actually started rolling out, I do believe, for the Quest. I haven't turned mine on yet today or tried to update it, but I think some people are starting to get those updates. So
yeah, I haven't updated mine yet.
Yeah, so there's controller tracking, the venues that we talked about. Software update for Facebook standalone VR console also brings with it changes to the Guardian system. So now it's going to better recognize your guardians that you set up. It's going to remember multiple guardians better. Because I don't know about you, but I've had a lot of issues. Like, you save a guardian in one room, and then you go back into that room and you put it on, and it totally lost it. So you have to redo the guardian, which isn't a big deal. It doesn't take a long time, but it still is kind of like I don't want to redo the guardian every time I go in.
So what I found with mine, it was 100% about lighting. Like, period. Like, if I had the same room and it was really bright, like daytime light coming in the windows, and then I was in there at night, same place, different shadows.
Different lighting.
I think the shadows threw it off, and then it was
so
game over. I didn't even
recognize it. Yeah, the update must, remedy some of that issue with something they're doing on the software side. But and there's also supposedly they've changed the Guardian too, where it's not as obtrusive. It doesn't pop up as easily and stuff, which I know you talked about and you didn't like either.
I have.
About how when it just pops up all the time, it's super annoying. So that'll be good. Yeah. So multiple play spaces in different rooms, multiple Guardian setups in the same room. Facebook system for defining safe play areas for VR should also add the ability to make on-the-fly adjustments for fine-tuning the space. So that sounds pretty interesting. And I just wanted to say I did hear this, but the VR Mang said Venues is out now and Tenacious D is on July 31st.
Oh, nice.
So we could all go watch the Tenacious D concert in Oculus
awesome.
Venues. That might actually be a lot of fun. It'd be pretty cool.
There's a lot of fun stuff you could actually do with stuff. I mean, group stuff like that.
Yeah.
I remember they used to do it with AltSpace. There would be stand-up comedians go on there and stuff, which was really cool. Except the only bad thing we found is that, like, server size, they limited how many people were in a room.
Yeah.
So if we would try and join one, we might get shoved into another one and you were in a different one.
Yeah,
so that was the only issue.
Hopefully they'll fine tune all that, because I mean that's important when you're with a group of friends and you know what I mean. You need to stay together, because that's a pain in the butt when you keep getting split up. You got to keep trying to get hooked back together. So hopefully in that they'll fine tune all that, because I really think that Oculus, Facebook, all that. I mean that is their future goal, is the the community aspect of VR. Sure. And so hopefully they can fine tune all that.
I still feel like they haven't focused on that though. I feel like the chat and the joining people is still a little tricky. And I feel like that's their bread and butter, is the social aspect. So why wouldn't they?
I think they've been working on it behind the scenes. I just don't know why they haven't rolled out quicker all this stuff, because I mean that's a big part of VR. I mean you really do feel like you're with other people, so you need to take advantage of that, I think. But
especially if they're pushing for the masses,
right?
If they want more people to have it, then they need to make it more accessible for everybody to hang out with everybody. And I don't know.
I mean this is a start with the venues and stuff coming, and hopefully they can start pushing some good stuff, like some big name people, because I mean it's the future is pretty big for this kind of stuff, in the aspect of going to concerts and going to shows, you know what I mean? Like I'm not a big concert guy anyways. Like I don't love going to concerts and stuff because I don't like the crowds. If it's like super crowded, you can't even move, you got people, all over you. Like I would much rather do that in VR, where I can sit on my couch and do it, instead of being actually in those. But then you got to try to get in and out of those places and traffic, and it's crazy.
You can be front row. I mean, you're literally front row then at that point, And I mean, you don't have to pay for it. You don't have to fight the crowd.
But I mean, they can sell tickets. I mean, they can sell, tickets or whatever, whatever they want to do. I mean, some big name people. I mean, I guess they got to get paid, I suppose.
Well, sure. I mean, you got to think though too. They're paying for the actual venues, to play somewhere. So there is a higher cost in that. When you're just streaming it, I mean, they could be playing in their studio, which I really like watching Dead Mouse produce in his studio. He live streams that, and I just enjoy it. Like I'll throw it on. He hasn't kind of done it lately, but you can just throw it on and watch him do his thing, and it's super cool. Like just chill, not really high stress, but you can jump in, watch some. If you got to pop out, you pop out. You know, no big deal.
Yeah, I think it's awesome.
I do think it's really cool.
So maybe we'll have to do a Tenacious D a thing, hook up with everybody.
I know.
That's pretty cool.
I want to do like a live stream or something inside of VR. If they're in big screen right now, I want to be in there. It's not fair.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I do wonder if they're in big screen. That's pretty cool. I told him, I said, maybe I'll just skip the show. I'll let you do it by yourself, and I'll watch from inside big screen. That'd be awesome. It'd be so cool, though.
It would be cool, though. It would be cool to see, but yeah.
But talking about like some of the social stuff and the concerts and the big name stuff, so one of the producers of Lion King, and he was working on a thing called Gnomes and Goblins like 2 years ago. And I guess he kind of dropped the project and he never came back to it. Well, now he's talking about coming back to this and maybe finishing it. And I've never been in it. It was accessible, I believe, and it may still be. And I think it was in like in one of those apps, like the VR apps where you watch the videos and stuff like that. But but it looks pretty good, and supposedly it's like kind of like an interactive kind of movie.
And I just think it's funny, you know, we just talked about him. I think it was last week, maybe the week before, about Jon Favreau, because he was doing the VR directing for The Lion King inside of VR, which I thought was just amazing.
Yeah.
And I think it was Paradise Decay said that he actually did Star Wars 2, Rogue One, I think.
He's done a bunch of
one
stuff.
Of them.
He's done a bunch of stuff, yeah.
But I mean, inside of VR, I mean, that's so cool. And now to find out that he's picking this project back up. Yeah. So you have to wonder, when he did that process for The Lion King, he had to have been like, wow, this is unbelievable. What we're doing right now with VR, and he wants to get back into it. Because why? The second they're done with Lion King, basically, and it's out in theaters, that he's jumping on this project.
Yeah.
So something caught him about
maybe
VR,
he's
that
just
he wants
seeing,
to get back into this.
you know, the improvements of VR too. I mean, they said they were using consumer headsets, so I don't know what that is. My guess is probably like Rift S's or Vive Pros, probably Vive Pros.
They were using Vive Pros for The Lion King.
So I mean, that already is a pretty big improvement, you know, visually from what we had 2 years ago.
Even like on the developer, like director side for him, because from the time he started that project, it kind of got dropped. So maybe it wasn't there yet, you know, and now maybe because The Lion King, he's like, you know what, it's there. Let's do this project. So hopefully we get a really, really good exclusive, you know, VR movie like that. That would be epic. I mean, for VR.
I want more VR movies and stuff like that.
So
like built for VR, I think it's really cool. And especially like if you do them animated stuff, you know, because some of the video quality stuff isn't quite there yet. I mean, it's getting really close, but as far as animated movies, I mean, like Henry and all that kind of stuff, I mean, there was real short things, but it's really cool, you know, like
but look at like Lion King's animated.
That's what I mean. So like the visually animated stuff inside VR can look amazing, you know, to where the real life video stuff is still, I mean, it's getting really good, but it's still not. I mean, visually you can make an animated movie in VR look amazing, you know.
You just can't capture. You just need better lenses. I mean, it's not there yet. It's close, but it's not there
like the
yet.
180 stuff and stuff. It's getting really good. Like a lot of the stuff is getting really good, and it definitely will.
You need to shoot another good VR 180 video.
I know.
Man. Those are really cool. That roller coaster one was fire.
Yeah,
like that
was pretty cool. Some people made him sick. There's a guy at work that his his brother-in-law, I think it's his brother-in-law, has an Oculus Go. So I told him about that. So he checked it out, and everybody thought it was really cool. He's like, dude, I almost threw up. Like he was like, it made me sick. But he's like, but I can't do roller coasters. Like he doesn't ride roller coasters either. So I mean, it's still gonna, if you can't ride a roller coaster, it's probably gonna have a hard time doing it in VR as well. So
yeah. Oh, so I am is and didn't the one he said he's hosting in Big
I am
Screen.
Is and isn't. I think.
Yeah,
okay.
I am. I know you're better saying that than I am. So he is.
So if anybody wants to join, he is hosting right now in Big Screen. You can go watch our show right now with him in Big Screen, which is pretty cool.
Yep.
Which I might just go do that now. You can handle this, right?
Yeah. Right. I know. Oh man.
So also, Chatty said Gnomes and Goblins preview is in the Steam store. So there is a free preview, and I do have the trailer.
Nice. That's cool.
I have the trailer video from like 2 years ago, so I'm gonna play that.
I was gonna say, it's old.
Yeah, it's old, but I mean, it still looks cool.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I really the one I liked was Linkin Park music video. That's been a while.
In
that's
VR?
been a while since that was out.
Is that 360? What are you talking about?
Yeah.
No, I don't think I've ever seen that.
It's a VR music video. Yeah. It's been a couple years now probably.
Yeah. But this looks cool. Like the fact that, and I haven't done this, but like if you can peek in places like that, like that is cool, I think. You know what I mean? Like when you look in the windows and he reacts to you, I think that's really cool.
So cool though. I know. And if this was 2 years ago,
right.
I mean, where it's at now has to be amazing.
And I mean, there's a much bigger audience for something like this now. 2 years ago, I mean, there's still not even huge audiences now, but 2 years ago there was, next to nothing.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
So
Absolutely.
I mean, the fact that all the Quest sales and everything like that,
What 10 million headsets, right?
Right, something like that. I can't believe that. I don't know, but
yeah, that's kind of crazy, but yeah, I do. I'm just excited for big name directors to get on board with this kind of stuff, and him is the essential director too to be into this kind of production, especially coming from right where he's at right now. It's just perfect timing for VR. I love it. It's really good.
It is pretty awesome. It's not like it's, some no-name producer. This is legit. Right. So this should be really good. This should be really legit, I think.
Oh, yeah. Oh, so, absolutely.
And I'll have to try the preview. I'll have to try that out.
So, do you want to get into VReady?
Yeah. So do you want to play the trailer here?
Let's do it, yeah.
Let's play the trailer. So the developer is in chat, and he's still in here. So, yep, he was talking about the Guardian in the new update. So he is in here. So nice, feel free to ask him any questions. And
yeah, but we are definitely big fans of shooters. I know a lot of guys and stuff out there streaming aren't. I know we are. We love shooters.
Yeah, visually,
I love
the graphics and stuff of the guns look really good. The shooting range looks awesome, and there's a lot of different aspects too we'll talk about. But we'll play this video here. But it definitely looks really good. It's just music in the background, so we can still talk.
Okay, sure. Yeah. But yeah, I love the sky too. The sky. I mean, his image for sky looks incredible. I
love skeet shooting too, so I'm excited about that. Skeet shooting's a lot of fun. You actually have a video of us doing that before your wedding, which is pretty cool. Yeah.
Oof, yeah, that's true. Yeah, this does. The gun mechanics and stuff look really good already.
Yeah, and this is still early too. And this is available on itch.io if you want to try this out. His Discord link is in our description. So if you join his Discord, the link for the download of the game is in there. So be sure to join his Discord and check that out.
I do like in this where it's not his sidearm, but it's probably his primary. But he has it on his side, and the light is still on. It's like an M16.
Yeah.
And it's still on when it's on his side, which I really like. It just... that's the realism of pulling it up, and still seeing that, light casting from it, which is awesome. I think it's coming up next.
Shooting.
I know.
I love skeet shooting. I'm not very good at it, but I do love it.
Bolt action rifle. I love a good bolt action rifle.
Oh, yeah.
In VR, I just feel like it works so good to have to reach over and grab it.
So it says VReady is a VR shooter focused heavily on accurate firearm mechanics and interactions. Currently, there is a randomized kill house game mode, team deathmatch, outside range, as well as a fully stocked shooting range with 20-plus functional weapons. It is in development, but it is very playable, fully compatible with both Oculus and Vive. So be sure to join the Discord and check that out. And he did share a little bit with us, too, that he does have plans for... a multiplayer, possibly doing a multiplayer thing in here, that he has plans for that. And he also said he's about to make a 3-gun course as well. So,
which we were just talking about that before we went live. That's awesome. Yeah. That's really cool.
So one of our friends just recently did a 3-gun course, right? Like in real life. Yeah.
Yep.
So
yeah. Which that would be really cool, just because nobody's doing that. Something nobody's doing, and that's an actual thing that everybody's doing. Especially right now, I feel like that's getting bigger.
In a sense, I don't know how well it would translate, but in a sense, people that actually do 3-gun competitions, I don't know if VR could translate well enough to be practice, but I feel like target acquisition and aim, in VR can translate well to real life. Because I know, I went to a shooting range not too long ago after playing a lot of Contractors and, Onward and stuff like that with a gun stock. And I felt like I was more accurate and on target a lot better than, what I was before.
I feel like all the, drops, every time you draw up, I feel like it's faster to be on point after playing VR.
Yeah, I agree.
The gun handling and stuff, it doesn't really translate.
No.
But actually drawing up and being on point every single time, I feel like that's where it's at.
With a gun stock, though, I feel like that definitely helps because you have it pressed against your shoulder, and like you said, you're drawing up not just 2 controllers instead of, it's one solid piece. Yeah, so.
Absolutely.
I definitely am looking forward to getting.
I'm still trying to get my gun stock dialed in. I'm still working on it. I'm close. I'm close to having it down to memory. Yeah, the Apto. Yeah. I'm close with it. I'm still just a little bit off on my gun angles and stuff, but it's there. I mean, it's size-wise and everything. It's really working well. And with the index controllers, it's all under, so I'm not used to that because coming from touch, it was all, the controllers went in from the top. So for me, it's just a little different because your final movements are actually upward instead of downward. So it's just a little different.
Right.
But it's more natural, so it shouldn't be an issue.
Yeah. And I mean,
But
it's kind of a thing of just relearning the muscle memory too, because when you're used to one stock for so long and you switch to something completely different, I mean, it's going to take a little while, but once you get in there and play some games for a little while, it comes usually pretty quickly to where you can get natural feeling with it. But so one thing I would like to ask the developer of VReady is about gun stocks, because I don't know if he's played Contractors, but one of the things that I love the most about Contractors is the gun stock calibration. So any gun game, I recommend a gun stock calibration, because, I mean, the gun stocks are pretty popular. We love them. And if you can actually line your in-game gun up with what you feel and are holding, it just adds to the game that much more. And I don't know how difficult that is to do from a developer standpoint, and maybe he can talk a little bit about that in the chat too, but that is one thing that I hope more people do start adding.
Yeah, it probably has to be a little bit difficult. I don't know. Yeah, it would be. It's probably just where the gun is located to the player model. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But it would. Yeah, it's definitely. I mean, for me, it's almost a make or break with using a gun stock anymore.
Yeah.
Other than that, you have to try and physically adjust your gun stock for every game you're playing. And then if you switch guns, grab points are different for foregrips and everything.
What I would do is in games like War Dust, my gun angle was never right with my stock. So like what I would do is I would end up holding the gun stock differently. So like I might rest it a little bit higher up in the back, like higher up on my shoulder. And because when I pulled the gun up, it wasn't right on sight where I could see down the sights. You know what I mean? It was off on angle. So, I mean, you learn to play that way, but it's not as fun. You know what I mean? It's not as natural. And Contractors, I can set up every gun to my gun stock, and whatever gun I'm using, it saves them all. I'm running, I pull it up, it's right on target. Like, it just feels natural. I'm lined up just like you would be, with a real weapon.
So for me, with the Apto and the Index controllers, my only issue in Contractors so far, which I'm still trying to work on, is I actually need a rotation of the gun now. I actually need to rotate the gun in game. So the front, so your muzzle would be turn left to right.
Yeah.
There is no adjustment for that, and I really wish there was. I know I can probably figure it out with the gun stock and make some adjustments, but for whatever reason, because how you mount the Index controllers, there's a little bit of an offset to them.
Right.
Because one's right, one's left, so they're not actually straight down the tube of it. So the controllers are a little bit of an angle when the gun's straight, and my grab points just aren't dead on. So that's my only issue with it. But I feel like I can probably tweak my controllers and rotate some things.
So I actually have my Mammoth Apto stock sitting in a box right over there, and I haven't even opened the box yet. So it's still been a little bit crazy with the move. We've still been doing a lot of stuff to the house, a lot of work and a lot of unboxing and stuff. So I just haven't. Man, I want to get in there so bad. And I even have the updated VR cover right here too. This is the newest one with the updated lower piece that I haven't even opened yet either. I'd like to try to hopefully do a video, and that is the gun stock all put together. And you have started on a video for that, but it's not finished yet. So
I have. Yep, and it actually works really, really well, and it's fully adjustable. The controllers hold really well. But they do break away when you crack them, which is nice.
But you want them. They need to.
You do.
Yeah. But I mean, it sounds even just that snap when you put it back in and when you take them off, it sounds solid. And I haven't, like I said, I haven't put mine together yet. But
I have the sling for it. I don't even use the sling. I don't need it. I don't want it. No, because I literally can hold. I mean, I can shake this thing with one controller holding onto it, and it does not let loose. I mean, it is solid. So
it sounds good.
I really
for some reason, it sounds really good when you take those on and off.
I was talking to Lonely Viper about his, because he has the
Pro Tube.
What's the one you have? Why is it Pro Tube?
Yeah.
And he said what his issue is with the Index controllers is how it mounts to the bottom. With all the, has all the zip ties and all that stuff. And it gets in the way, like, of his hands and stuff, and it rubs, and it's like, in a bad spot. With this, never, where it mounts to, has it come in the way of my fingers, my hands. I wouldn't even know it was on there. And I love that. I really do.
And that stock's pretty universal, too, right? Like, you can use that for the Rift and everything else, other than the Vive wands. Other than the Vive
No,
wands.
You can use it with Vive wands.
Oh, can you? So how does it attach? It just attached to the long top ring still?
It has, so it would be a top. It's a cup that goes on top.
Okay.
Just like the old touch, mounts are and stuff.
Yeah.
So yes, it does come. It comes with literally every single mount. So
Yeah.
like I have, touch controllers, I have index controllers. I can use it with both.
So does it come with extra mounts to where you can have it on the other controllers and hot swap them? Or do you have to switch the mount over from the one that's on the index controller now?
It comes with different mounts. Yes, I can use an index, I could use a touch, and I could use wands.
All at the same time, though, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Wow, that's awesome. I didn't realize that. Like I said, I haven't even opened the box yet.
The only issue is that with wands, they have to be on top. So it can't be an underslung at that point. Right. So I could use touch and index underneath. But yeah, I mean, it's the nice thing though too about the wands is you actually take the bottom cup out of the controllers and replace it with one that they send you with the magnet receiver. I think it is. So I don't think there's a whole lot of, you unscrew something. I don't actually have Vive One, so I don't know.
Right.
But man, it does. It works really good.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I do like
really need to get mine together. I was hoping you would have your video out because I think you're going to do a video on how you set it up and everything. And I was like, well, I need to watch that video to know how to put mine together. But
my final recording was like an hour and a half. And I'm like, well, this is too much footage. So I'm working on it.
Yeah. So real quick, the developer of VReady said, yeah, I'm going to try to get a gun stock going. We'll try to do something like that. Can probably do a check for the hands and move the gun to line up exactly. And that's kind of like what they do in contractors, basically. So looking forward to that. I in shooter games, I think everybody should do something like that.
I agree.
So that's awesome to hear that he's planning on doing something like that.
Yeah, I think like for me, I mean, I know with like contractors and stuff with theirs is you just put them in the gun stock where they're going to be and pull both triggers. And then that kind of aligns it with, where it is. And that does seem to work pretty good. And then you can fine tune it from there.
Right.
But yeah, it's definite must. And a lot of these like competitions and stuff, like all the Onward competitions, are they allowed to use gun stocks in that?
Yeah.
Are they?
I'm pretty sure, because not everybody does, but if you watch some of the videos, some of the guys are already using gun stocks.
Sure. So I mean, if he's pushing to go competition wise, I mean, some of these games, I mean, with the ones that are really accurate, people are really going hardcore with them.
I mean, I feel like the gun stock accuracy wise and target acquisition is a big key, but you do lose some stuff sometimes on reloads, grenade throws, and you can learn to be quicker, but there are some advantages and disadvantages to a gun stock. And a lot of people don't like gun stocks. A lot of people don't like people that use gun stocks because they feel like, it's an unfair advantage or cheating or whatever else. But I mean, it has its drawbacks too. Like, it's not like it's the perfect tool that is just going to make you completely dominate. And even if you have a gun stock, if your aim sucks, you still suck. Right. You know what I mean? Like, it's not going to make you that much better, but
it does handicap you because also when you go to different guns, they have different grip points. So that also becomes, an issue. When you have a pistol in your hand, now you've got a gun stock in your way where you're going to two-hand a pistol. So you do have issues with it as well. But, like even for the Apto and stuff, I would really like a third mount for it that was close for pistols. Another magnetic snap for underneath. I think that would be awesome. But
I've always said for a lot of people talk about the shotguns. Like a lot of people really like to use a shotgun with a gun stock. And my idea was that, you make the front cup. Yeah, you make it like it locks in place, or you make a ball bearing slide where you flip a button on your thumb or something and you can rack the shotgun. You know what I mean? So then
just like a drawer, like a drawer rail with the bearings and stuff. They slide.
And it would just feel so good, because right now shotguns can be really hard to use if it is a pump shotgun. You know what I mean? It's not natural, but something like that would be pretty simple to do, and people that love shotguns, they would love that. And I think that would make the shotgun a lot more fun to use because I mean, everybody loves a pump shotgun. I mean, something about that sound of a pump shotgun is just crazy. But,
it would be. So, that's kind of the one reason why I don't use shotguns is they're a little more clumsy.
Yeah, it's a little harder. And you can use like a semi-auto where you don't have to pump, but
Right.
So some people said, somebody was saying, so Devastated Dave said, personally, I can't stand the index controllers. He said they fatigue my arms, wrists, hands so badly.
Interesting.
I haven't had that issue, but I feel like a lot of it with any new controller is just getting used to it too. Because I feel like even when I first started playing with the touch, and I love the touch controllers, I still felt, like if I remember right, I would have pain in my wrists and stuff just from the way you're holding them, especially in shooters, because like sometimes the way you hold your wrist at an angle and stuff. So I think some of it is just getting used to stuff, and it just takes a little while to really feel comfortable and where it doesn't fatigue you as much. But
I've actually debated trying to get the grip for the larger hands, because my hands, what happens on mine is it's probably going to be hard to see on here, but where my thumbs fall, where my A and B are, I wish it was at the end of my thumb, but it's actually more almost back to the joint.
Right.
So that becomes a little tricky. So button presses, I feel like my thumb has to be bent back really, really far.
It is weird.
That's really the only issue I have. And then where it hits my thumb for the analog stick, it's just a little different. So it's just getting used to it really for me.
Yeah, I feel like, I don't know. I still feel like for as long as those controllers have been out there in the wild and people have had them and stuff, that I still don't think they're like the perfect controller by any means. You know what I mean? Like I would much prefer the thumbstick being in the middle. Like, 'cause sometimes I don't know. It's just, I still really love the touch controllers. If you could give me, the CV1 touch controllers with, the hand tracking and all of that stuff and like Mammut grips, you know what I mean?
I know. I agree.
I don't know. I still prefer the OG CV1 controllers. Those are, they just feel solid. I've punched things with them. They've never broken. They're just great. Awesome controllers. So, but I love the index controllers too. I do enjoy them, but they're not as comfortable, and they're not like button placement isn't as natural feeling to me as the touch controllers. But everybody's hands are different, so
they're more wandish. They're a little straighter. So they don't have that ergonomics that the original touch ones do. But
touches, they're hard to beat. I don't like the Rift S controllers as much. They're not that much different, but they just don't feel as nice. They don't feel as nice, and they feel cheaper. Like everything about them feels a little cheaper than what the CV1 controllers were. But
we paid $200 for those controllers, where you can buy the whole Quest headset with the controllers for $399. So
that's true.
So that you have to you have to weigh it, what's worth it. But I get it. I know it's hard.
Yeah. So we did also do a video of the FrankenQuest, which we've been talking about for a while, and we hadn't got that video out there. But so if you haven't seen that yet, watch the FrankenQuest. And basically,
so
it's using the 3D prints. Everybody needs to get it. Honestly, it's like the greatest thing I've ever done to the Quest. It's just so comfortable now. Like I can wear it for so long now. And I got my VR cover for the Quest, which I haven't opened yet or put on there yet. And that's the updated one. So it's just, it's so good. So I highly recommend it. And if you watch the video too, I also show you how to put the factory head strap back on. So if you take it off and you do, the FrankenQuest or whatever else, and you're worried about warranty claims and you got to send your Quest back, you don't damage the headset at all. It's super easy to get it off. It's super easy to get it back on. You actually need no tools whatsoever. The only tool I used to get it back on was a self-made tool out of a toilet paper roll. That's all I used, and it's really easy. It really is really easy. So check that out if you haven't seen that yet.
Yeah, it is. I know. I need to do it too.
They do still have some on eBay for $74 or $75 from the Microsoft store. There's still some. There's still some on there. I think VR Mag was looking, and I think there might have been like 8 left or something like that. But it seems like when it goes down, they do go back up and they restock. But
sure, I get that. Yeah, I feel like now with that like strap and that mod and everything, you can spend so much time in that now, you'll actually outlive the battery.
Oh yeah.
Where before maybe you needed a break because it's a little more forward weight. I feel like that distributes the weight so much more evenly now that you could wear it for 3 hours.
Yeah, that with the VR cover, because I have the VR cover here, but I when I was at your house, I put your VR cover on for the Quest and put that on. And it was so comfortable. Like, it was honestly one of the most comfortable headsets I've worn. It just felt so good. And you could literally wear it forever. Like, you don't have to worry about, for me, and everybody was different. Like, some people said you can move it down far enough in the back of your head, take the pressure off your face. I've tried everything with it the way, it comes, and it was never comfortable. I could still be in there for a while, but it wasn't pleasurable. Like, it wasn't fun.
Yeah, you knew you had something strapped on instead of forgetting about it.
Yeah, and I would have the big red marks, on my face, and it wasn't fun, but...
people were asking, too, like, where to print those off, because I printed them off, and if you have a 3D printer and stuff, it's great.
Yeah.
But you can actually, we do some contracting work for the public library here and in town where I'm at, and they actually have 3D printers inside of the library that you can use for free. You literally just pay for material. Mm-hmm. So everyone's wondering, like, I don't want to pay somebody else to get them. You can probably go today or tomorrow and go to the library and get them printed out that day. You just need the link to the file, which I think you put in the video. Yeah,
it's in the video description. The thing first link. So just call your local library. You can call them and ask them if they have 3D printers, which I didn't really know that until you said that. Yep. And, so hopefully that's a pretty popular thing all around the world.
Well, they're using them as like a learning tool, know, so they have them in there for, and for people to use and stuff. And I think that's great. It takes, it might take a trying to think how long those prints took. About 4 hours each, maybe.
So how does that work?
That.
You like set up your print and you leave and come back once it's done, or?
Yeah, or they pull them off maybe and keep them. I'm sure everywhere's different.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean,
that's cool.
You literally just pay for material. It's probably like $2 in material for parts. So you got the $74.99 for the headset, and another $2 in parts, and there you go. Maybe you have to buy a library card,
Yeah.
But yeah, another $1.
We should probably be reading more books anyway, so that's probably
right. Exactly.
That's probably okay.
Can we do that in VR?
Yeah. They had some comic books they were kind
right.
of
Yeah, there you go.
So Elevatedy said TP roll ready to go. So it's actually just still sitting on my desk from the video that I just did the other day. So,
sure it is. Sure.
Yeah. I got more toilet paper rolls. I can go use up some more and bring some more in here. They're always somewhere ready to go. I mean, and I figured everybody would have a toilet paper roll, so
sure,
easy enough to grab, and any cardboard will work.
Curve to it, to draw it out of there. If you watch the video, see what I'm talking
everybody
about.
likes natural curves.
Yep. Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah. So what other good? We had a bunch of cool videos
we're kind of rambling on. Let's get back on track.
I know.
We just need to do like an episode sometime where we have no notes at all and just see where it goes. Like we have nothing to talk about and we just see where it goes.
I don't know if people would want that kind of video, man.
Yeah, I don't know either. So there is a new Boneworks clip though, and it's not really like a trailer clip or anything. It's just it was basically Brandon, the one developer on Boneworks, was talking about things they're doing and all that stuff, and basically they just showed a little bit of a clip during that video of some in-game footage. So I did grab that, and we can show that. It's pretty cool. And
which is just basically more mechanics and stuff.
Yeah. Nothing crazy.
Objects interacting with other objects and bouncing gravity and all that stuff. But still, cool. I mean, if they're just keep fine-tuning this, I mean, it's going to be very, very real. It's going to be ridiculous when it's
there
done.
Is some talking on this. Let's let it play.
Yeah, sure.
Loaded up with all of our worldly possessions. More stable when you carry it two-handed. Bit. Gotta have guns, right? Need some blades. Need a baseball bat. Guns. Oh shit! That time of day again. And we have all of our stuff. Take it over to the train. On our free hand. Open the door like that. There and dump all my stuff out. Cool, just like that, the trash can is complete.
So nothing crazy, but still a cool clip. And just the interactions that they're putting in that game is awesome. Like the fact that he walked up to the train car or whatever, and his hands were full with a trash can full of guns, and he pushes the button with the trash can.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's simple
every
things.
object has, exactly.
Yeah, it's simple things like that in games that I feel like people don't take the time to do, but really make such a big difference. Like that's such a simple thing, but in a VR game, it makes a big difference. You know,
because
what I mean?
Everything in VR is interacting. You're in direct correlation with everything around you.
Right.
So if you can walk up and touch it, you should be able to walk up and touch it or interact with it or whatever that may be. And I think that's what they're really pushing towards is that interaction, and it's really good. It does look good.
Yeah, I mean everybody's excited for that game, but I just hope it lives up to the hype. I think it will, but I mean I just really hope it does because it's gonna be such a disappointment if it's not as good as we're all hoping. But,
I know.
But man, it's so
I think it will be. I think it'll be good because I'm sure they have the backing now for it to be good. I just don't know how long now that's going to push it out. That's the only thing.
Yeah, I really thought it was going to come out with the index, and it didn't. But
I know we kind of hoped that.
Yeah. So Airman 929565 said, "Funny, he's using the touch controller," which I did notice that too in the video. He was actually using a Rift with touch. You know what I mean, instead of the index. But I think they said previously that there's only a couple people on the dev team that were actually using indexes, and most of the people were actually developing with Rift and touch. I believe he said that a little while back. But
well, it's probably what people are most comfortable with, developing with and had been developing with. You don't want to jump to something new and then, you based everything that you've learned off one headset, one controller. You're not just going to pick it up. I'm sure you will to test it, but not maybe to develop with and everything.
I think it's just surprising because when we first were seeing things, it utilized the index controllers or the knuckles controllers so well with the hand tracking and the pressure sensors where you can move and stuff. But supposedly it's all playable with touch still. And we've shown videos previously using touch, how they were still moving with the bat and everything else. And talking about the Index, it is readily available now. So you can now order an Index. I mean, we were thinking like second wave, third wave was going to be, closer pushing towards the end of the year. And now, all the orders have been fulfilled and you're able to order now and get it within like less than a week, I believe. So if you order now.
Do you think people backed out? Do you think people got scared of it after seeing reviews or seeing stuff about it?
I mean, I think it's possible because part of the problem with before it came out, like when we all had our pre-orders, nobody had hands-on yet, and there was still gag orders on a lot of the people that had them. They still couldn't give full reviews. They couldn't really do a full review till it came out. And we all thought this was going to be the headset to end it all. This is the headset you have to have, and in a sense, it is. But at the same time, there are flaws. It's not a flawless headset. You have the glare issues, you have the controller issues where the sticks aren't clicking and stuff like that. And I think some of the hype is maybe worn off a little bit. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Yeah.
I think you have to look at it too as like a cost, to benefit ratio. I mean, what are you gaining for that price difference? And if for a lot of people that's a big jump. I mean, that's a $600 jump for essentially the same thing with a Rift S. So that's a lot of money and a lot of other stuff. So it's hard. I don't know.
I mean,
you can
I feel
like your headset for another $100. You could buy the VR cover. You could buy the deluxe audio strap for an extra $100. So you're at $500. You're still at half, and you've got a wireless headset with the comfort, with the built-in headphones, with probably better black levels and less glare. So
I feel like if they would have, if it would have came out and not had the glare issues, not had the touch stick issues that everybody's talking about, I think maybe the pre-orders still, maybe the orders would still be backlogged some, and I don't know. I mean, it's hard to say. Maybe they just ramped up production so much that they're producing more of these and they're able to keep up. I don't know, but I have a feeling that some of the demand has kind of died off some, but I still think it's a super popular headset and there's still people that are ordering it. You know what I mean? Like there's still, like it's not, it's still, technically one of the best headsets out there. It's hard to argue that, you know what I mean? Like but like you said,
definitely my go-to.
Yeah, like I love it.
Daily, definitely.
But like you said, if you're not a VR enthusiast, I don't think there's really any reason to buy it. If you're just wanting to get into VR and you want to play some, get a Rift S. Especially now that they've done the tracking updates, get you some Bionic Mantis headphones or something, something equivalent.
Yeah, that's even cheaper yet. Right.
Yeah, because the biggest issue I had with the Rift S when it came out was the tracking for first-person shooters and the audio, and those have mostly been solved with if you purchase the Mantis headphones or something equivalent, or you do the 3D print mod and stuff like that. But it's I don't know.
I know. They people have literally discussed this, to the ends of the earth, what's better to buy and questions about it, and they were talking about our Discord, and I guarantee you there's people in chat here that have made those decisions, and I'm sure they're happy going with the Rift S because there's a lot of benefits to it. It's a great headset. Yeah. And now that my one thing I didn't like was the tracking is now fixed. Yep. So I have no problem recommending it at all.
Yeah.
I really
it really is for $399. It really is a great headset. It's simpler setup and everything else. But if you got the money, buy an Index because it is still an amazing headset. The field of view difference I really like. Like I do wish the Rift S had a bigger field of view. That is like another one of its big downfalls. With being in 2019 that it still has such a small field of view is kind of a visually. The visual, clarity and stuff is still really good. The lenses are great. The colors are great. It's still an awesome headset.
Oh, it is. So. My favorite thing about the Index still is comfort, sound, field of view, and visuals with colors. I love that. The colors and stuff. And the range of visuals is just unbelievable. Better than Rift. I feel like it's better than Rift S. Yeah. And I know they have different pixel layouts and stuff. I just feel like I can see farther in the Index than I can the Rift S.
Yeah, and it's higher resolution. It is still higher resolution. So
sure it is.
The
a lot
audio
of people were saying though, because of the pixel layout though in the Rift S, that it's pretty comparable because some people like the cross patterns and stuff, and it's everyone's probably biased to what.
They're both still LCDs, but
they are.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's definitely a great headset if you have the money. It's definitely great. And Studio VR said everyone let their reservations expire after the reviews hit. And that could be, that could be. I mean, it's.
Sure.
I'm sure that played an impact. I'm sure that had a role in things for sure. And person says glare is dependent on how you wear it, and I have found that you can adjust it some to help the glare. It's just that it is still there. I mean, in certain things you can still see some glare, I don't know. It's not terrible.
I noticed that a lot of mine it's in rotation of the headset.
Yeah.
So it's not about where it sits or where the lenses are. It's more on rotation. So if anybody's out there, try that, because for me, that's what solved it.
And I think it's because of the dual lens setup, the way they have the dual lens. I think that's part of the problem where you're getting that.
Sure, would be. You're getting a reflection back off of one. You'd have to. I mean, you have a screen right in front of it.
Yeah, and somebody said don't forget comfort, which it is a very comfortable headset. And it's actually a heavy headset, but it is very balanced and very comfortable. It is.
I think the only one heavier is what, the Vive Pro, maybe?
I'm not even
sure.
By
like a couple grand, like not much.
I can't remember. I can't remember if the Vive Pro is heavier or the
I think it's the Vive Pro is just a little heavier.
Yeah.
Pretty sure. It's close. Yeah. I mean, they're within, very close. But yeah, I love it. I love the adjustments in it.
Yep. So somebody asked, so Lee Tobin asked if either one of us have tried any Sims in the Index yet. And you did, right? You did some racing sims in the Index. I have not yet. I actually just brought my racing seat and steering wheel and everything up here to the new room. So it is in here now, but I haven't got in yet.
That's what I want to try and get going for this weekend is get into a sim with some people, because
not this weekend. I won't be here.
Oh well, that's
you did this to me last time too. I was moving. I didn't even have internet yet, and you were setting up play sessions. I'm like, I just want to play so bad.
Well, I got to do something. Come on now, since you're not around. So, but yeah, no. Everyone on our Discord was talking about like Sims and their setups and stuff.
A lot of chat. A lot of the chat in there has been Sims lately.
Yeah, and people were posting like wheels, like really cheap. I think VR Mang found one for like $111.
And that was the Thrustmaster TMX, right?
Yeah, it was the Thrustmaster.
I think so. Which I have the TMX Pro, I think, or something like that. So I have the 3 pedal setup, which are like aluminum pedals, and I have the add-on TH8 shifter. So.
Yep, which I highly recommend if you want the realism to have a shifter. Though, like a lot of people run the GT3 cars and stuff, and they're all pedal shifters anyways in real life.
Yeah,
so
a lot of the higher end cars are not really using a shifter anyways. But I bought my setup for Forza Horizon. What was it? 2, 3. I don't remember which one it was.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah,
it was on the Xbox. That's what I bought it for.
Sure.
It was for the Xbox. And luckily, once I got into VR, it still worked with the PC. So that worked out great because that's all I use it for now. So
that's what some people were saying, that they got rid of them when they got into VR. And now it's like, oh man, why did I get rid of it?
Yeah, you need that. And I mean, hopefully we're getting Dirt Rally 2 soon too. And I mean, I don't know when. I haven't heard any chatter about that in a little while. I really think we're getting pretty close to No Man's Sky.
I hope.
The VR implementation, because
you guys are going to lose me when that comes out. It's going to be a lot of fun.
We might not do any shows for a couple weeks.
I know, right? No, honestly, Sims, though, like the Index, I played a night race because I just want to see what it looked like at night, because of, glare and black levels and all that. It looked unbelievable. It really did. I had no issue. I didn't notice a difference. I don't know. Maybe mine's different than some others. But see, I guess I'm not picking that stuff out. For me, if I'm not looking for something and it doesn't show up, then it doesn't bother me.
Right.
A lot of people go in like, okay, I'm going to find this. I'm going to see where the issue is. I'm going to compare the black pixel to the other black pixel, and then whichever one's, darker is the winner,
Right.
But for me, if it's not like a deal breaker, and I mean, you have colors popping, I feel like more. So you're still getting that higher contrast. So, I mean, maybe the brightness is just a little higher, in the Index. Or, I mean, I don't know.
I feel like in any good game that you're in and any game that you're into, and you're enjoying playing it, it's hard to notice any of that stuff. Like, I mean,
agree.
People talked about, like, with the first generation stuff, like screen door effect and all this other stuff. When I was into a game and I was playing in it and I was, into that game, I didn't notice any of that. I was so focused on what was going on in the game that I didn't notice any of that kind of stuff. Now in menus, pause menus, startup menus, I would notice that stuff because you're doing nothing but like staring at a word on a black screen or, whatever. And that's boring. So you have nothing to look for but the negatives, but in a game, I don't know. I don't notice that stuff, but
no, I know.
So
yeah, the sim racers definitely are fun. I'm getting back into them this weekend for sure. I'm in car mode right now too, so it doesn't hurt.
That's true. But so we do also have lo-fi, which we've talked about that for a while now. We do have some gameplay footage of that we got into a little while back. And that is coming September 1st. It is the Kickstarter. Yep. So the Kickstarter is going to start on September 1st. And with the Kickstarter, you're going to have full access to the build as well as, I think, exclusive digital rewards. So you definitely want to check that out. And we can play the trailer. This is, I think, the trailer from, what was it? The last, is E3. That's what it was. So this is the trailer from E3. And the music is amazing, so we'll play this for a second with the music.
Yeah. Lighting. So I was actually back in this last weekend.
Did you go into
I wanted
the
to see
index?
where he was at.
Did you go into the index?
Yes.
Okay,
I
'cause
did.
that's what I was just going to say
did.
I want to do. I need to load this up in the index.
Yep,
Yeah.
I had to, man, because I'm like, you know what, black levels, high color. I'm like, I really want to see this, and it looked unbelievable, especially when you hit this new button that does this scan. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So you saw a clip of it in there where it like scans the world and it gets all like pixelated and stuff.
Like kind of like the grid kind of thing that.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's so cool. It is so cool when you hit it. And like if you're going somewhere and you hit it, there's a line that shows up on the ground then and it stays there, like kind of burns into the ground or something, and you can like follow it. So like when you hit it, it goes out through the world, and like the door in the distance where you're headed stays illuminated, and then a path is illuminated to it, so you can follow it. Oh, it looks so good.
Yeah,
I mean, when you scan stuff, it's so awesome.
So when I did that
Really.
First video of the gameplay in that game, that was in the CV1. That was before Rift S was out, and I did go back into it in the Rift S. I haven't been into it in the Index yet, and it was a huge improvement just from CV1 to Rift S. You know, color wise, and I mean, it's a gorgeous game. It really is an amazing, and it's, I mean, as you can see, very Blade Runner-ish, you know, sci-fi,
so
you know, it's
so good. I know, all of it is. Even like the in-car stuff now is even a little bit. He's been adding stuff slowly, just really plugging away at it, and just polish, like the polish in that. Now there's still not a whole lot of like mechanic stuff built into it yet, but he does have new areas that I got to go into, and like going into buildings and stuff now are being introduced in the build.
Yeah, I was. I went in not too long ago too, and there was a couple new areas. So I definitely recommend checking out the Kickstarter. I know Kickstarter can be scary, and a lot of people don't like backing Kickstarters, but he did a Kickstarter for what was the name of his first
Technolust.
game? Technolust.
Or no.
Yeah, it was Technolust. Back in the early days of CV1, he did a Kickstarter. So I mean, he put out a finished game. You know what I mean? So it's not like this is somebody that's never put out a game.
He's not a fly-by-night developer.
Yeah,
he's not.
He's been around
working
for a
on
while.
this. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
and if you played Technolust, I loved Technolust. I thought it was a great game, and that game was super early because that game was actually out before we even had touch controllers. So that game was built for VR using a gamepad, and that's what it. And it later had
one of the first ones to add touch, right? One of the first games.
So it did add touch after they came back out. They did an update where it added touch, but so I'm super excited for Technolust. I know we've talked about it. I mean, not for Lo-Fi. I know we've talked about it quite a few times, but we will definitely keep you updated as more information comes out about it. And, you know, the Kickstarter, we'll definitely be talking about the Kickstarter, you know, and so definitely check that out.
I like too, because before when you were flying in the car and you were looking for like places to land, they're on this map. It's kind of works like Elite Dangerous if you play that. And now when you hit the scan button, it illuminates all the landing pad areas.
Oh,
in
nice,
because
that was kind of hard because
you can just fly. It was dark, so you can fly right into them, hit the auto land button, and boom, you're down.
Yeah, because that was kind of difficult at first. I would fly all around because there would be targets on the map, but you would have to find the landing pad before you could go into that building. So that was kind of hard. So that scan feature will actually help a lot. So.
Yeah, it really does, and you can still play music inside the car too.
Oh yeah, that's good stuff.
Which is
another one we have is Takelings. So Takelings is out now, and we talked about this a while ago. And this is like a local multiplayer kind of a deal where you got people in VR and people out of VR all playing together. So we can show that trailer as well. I grabbed that again just for this episode.
Hussein X said Lo-Fi made me buy Technolust recently. I know, just that look of it.
And let me tell you, Lo-Fi is even going to be on another level. I mean, Technolust was awesome, but I mean, that was super early. This is, you know, even better visually and everything. It's going to be awesome.
I know. So this actually, I can't believe this, dropped too.
Yeah, we didn't even know it was about to release.
Silent for a while, so I get they were probably working on it. But see, that's what's happening now with Oculus. They're putting this whole gag on it. They can't talk about it. So,
well, this isn't on Quest though, so they should be able to talk about this because this isn't on Quest. Right. This is just on Rift, as far as I know.
I thought it's coming. Isn't it coming to Quest?
It might be coming to Quest, but like you said, they can't talk about that. So if that's what you mean, yeah, they can't talk about that.
Mm-hmm. Right, but everything gets put on hold with Quest. It's ridiculous. I mean, let people talk about it. Let them build hype for their games.
So basically, if you didn't see the episode before where we talked about this, you basically have the one person in VR, which is the head and the hands moving around, and then you have other people that are the little takelings people, I guess they call them, that are basically running around, and you're trying to catch them and kill them any way you can. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, the one guy, they put him in the waffle maker. You know, you're burning them. So, yeah.
They're all on mobile. Right? It's all mobile based.
I can't remember.
All the controllers are, right?
Yeah,
but
I think so.
You're looking at a screen, I would assume the PC. This is what we've seen.
Right.
And everyone has their phone as a controller, controlling the little guys on the screen, and then one person is in VR trying to smash everybody else.
Yeah.
But
so this is out. This is out now. We talked about it a month or 2 months ago or something, but it is out now. It's available on Steam and the Oculus Store for the Rift.
It does look fun. I still have yet to have like a house party to have like stuff for people to do. Like I'd love to do this. Richie's Plank experience.
And I still got to get that video. The video is actually on my wife's phone, and I keep meaning to put it onto the hard drive so I get it on the PC, and I keep forgetting. So that is coming. I'm going to because it's hilarious. It's great party trick. Absolutely great party trick. So.
The other one I've done before was Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes. That's a fun one too.
Yeah,
I really do like that. As long as you have like an iPad or you print out the manual.
Right. We did that. We did that back in the Gear VR day.
Yeah.
That was one of the things. One of the first things we did.
Yeah, that's crazy. You know, still speaking of Gear VR, that I can't think of what it's called, the bullet one, where you're the bullet.
Oh yeah.
Paradise Decay did a video. The one I talked about.
I can't think of what it's called now either.
Forever. That was on in VR jams a long time ago on Gear VR.
Yep.
Oh, that was so good. I need to play that because it's totally different now.
True that. So we do need to get into some Half-Life stuff too. We haven't.
Yes.
I feel like there's a lot of stuff we haven't done yet.
Yeah. So Half-Life would be amazing, and supposedly multiplayer stuff works. Supposedly.
Yeah. That's what it says. So this is basically the website, and I don't know did we add this in the description? We might have to. So
I can check.
It's Lambda 1 VR. So basically, you have to own a copy of Half-Life. Like you actually have to buy a copy of Half-Life. You can buy it on Steam, and on the website it gives you a link to that too, so you don't have to search for it. But yeah, so this is coming Monday. So July 29th on Monday, this will be live. And they have like a countdown, 2 days, 19 hours, 26 minutes on their website. And this is going to be for the Quest. So there are some things. They give you full instructions as well how to do it, to install the latest version through SideQuest. And basically the stuff that you need to...
I mean, SideQuest just makes it so easy, though.
Right.
You know, that's what's really nice. Yep. I mean, SideQuest does work really well for that kind of stuff.
Yep. So, I mean, it gives you full instructions, exactly what folders you need to copy over and everything else. So, are you putting a link to it? You look like
I was just looking. Yeah, I was looking to see if it was in there. Sorry.
So, it says, before you ask, yes, the crowbar has to be swung in real life to smash stuff. Except in multiplayer, for some reason, you have to hold the trigger while you swing. So that's probably... They give... On the website, they talk about some issues that are still going on, some known issues and the things they're working on. So even when it comes out, probably right away, it's still going to have some issues that aren't fully fleshed out yet because it's coming Monday. So I'm sure it's going to be an ongoing project. But, I mean, you can play, with tracked motion controllers on your Quest, Half-Life. So, I mean, that's pretty epic.
And the link is in the description.
Okay, you just add that?
Yeah. But what is it, 2 days, I think, till it drops?
Yeah, it's Monday. Yeah, 2 days, Monday? 19 hours, 24 minutes, and 50 seconds. 48 seconds. 47 seconds.
That's awesome.
46. Whoops.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I mean, they're really, with the amount of people that they have working on this.
I pulled the cord.
We don't want to hear you anyways.
Yeah.
Wait. What happened to your coffee cup? Where'd your other one go?
Well, this one? That's the only one I've had the whole time. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, right. Scared you out of the other one or what?
Pretty much. But yeah, that's going to be awesome. I mean, I know a lot of people are excited about that, so.
Yeah, stop it. Will you stop? You can't even hold the handle. See?
Well, I'm trying to make it so you can see the face. You know what I mean? Is it hard to take me seriously when I drink from this cup?
It's horribly
Serious
hard
question.
to take you seriously like that.
So VR Spry
what's
Guy.
nice about VR. I don't have to see you actually do these idiotic
Yet. Because once we have full face tracking and body tracking, you're going to have to see me do this ridiculous stuff too. So, and I will get this chip
VR
cup
progression?
inside VR. I will get it in there. So.
Okay.
And it's not, I mean, even in Poker Stars, we're shooting each other with water guns and you're putting donkeys on the table that move all around.
I can't anymore. They
yeah,
cost too
I know,
much
you told
now.
me. Yeah,
I haven't
that's
bought
what
it
you
yet.
said. That sucks. But,
It's ridiculous. I love the donkey.
yeah.
Donkey
So
was
somebody
amazing.
said Air Car is pretty dope, which it is. If you haven't played Air Car, that's been out for a long time. It's just a free demo on the Oculus store, and I've spent quite a bit of time just flying around in Air Car, and that is that's kind of like what it is in Lo-Fi. You know, you have that same kind of flight mechanic and stuff, and you're flying around. But the nice thing about Lo-Fi is you can go places. You know what I mean?
I was gonna say that's just your transport.
Yeah,
like doing
yeah.
that is just getting around
Yeah.
somewhere. Like that's it.
Yep. So Air Car is awesome, but it's just flying around. But it's still a lot of fun. You know, there's no objective, and I really thought that they were going to make a full game out of that. That was supposed to just be like a tech demo, and nothing ever came of that. Like, but it's still just a free demo. If you want to go fly around, it's a great experience. And yeah, I guess you got to have some VR legs because some people have an issue with motion sickness with it. But definitely check that out.
Yeah, I mean, it's not bad though. It's slower. It's not like it's super fast.
Paradise Decay said 2 guys, 1 Cuphead cup.
It's ridiculous.
That's awesome. VR Spry Guy said, I just got here, missed most of the show, so you have to go back and watch after.
Coffee today though.
Yeah, last time we did an evening show on Sunday, he had tea. I was like, "Oh, what kind of coffee are you drinking?" And he's like, "Oh, I'm not. I'm actually drinking tea." And I almost had to like hit self-destruct mode on the stream because I didn't know what to say.
I bet half the people that watch our show drink. Well, okay, maybe not half, but I bet a lot drink tea. I mean, you'd probably be surprised.
But what's the name of the show?
I understand that.
Tea Time in VR. We'll have to change the name. So we do have some other games too. And what was that one kind of creepy looking game that you were telling me about? Was that the Orion13 Neon Soaked?
Yeah, Orion.
Yeah. So we're kind of we get on these rambling things. So this is the trailer for this game, and this does have talking.
Right now,
yeah, I know. Well, somebody is streaming this in big screen. If anybody wants to hop in there with him on big screen,
I'm going in there. You can stay.
I want to.
Welcome to your diagnostics, Orion13.
This does look cool though.
Yeah, super trippy looking.
Yeah, it is. But it's actually like a full storyline and stuff, which is awesome.
Yeah, those people kind of creep me out.
Your memory circuits are fusing. Warning. Singularity.
Is there volume on this?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
It's crazy looking though.
It's kind of creepy. A long neck.
I'll get there.
Orion13, time to die.
I like that there's jumping.
Sure. Oh, I know. Yeah, jumping works really well.
And this is still kind of early too. You can kind of tell it's still early,
but it looks, I mean, pretty good for being how early it is.
It's super colorful. Like, I mean, it just seems like super trippy. You know what I mean? Like psychedelic world.
Yep. Like a trippy sci-fi type deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, I mean, we'll see how far along they come before they actually put a release out or at least a build out.
So little info on the game. It says Orion13 is a first-person VR hack and slash story-based adventure that plays like you're the main character in a movie. You are a newly self-aware combat robot who just wants to go home, and the game is set in a robot-ruled society with strict class hierarchies. I mean, with a good story, that could be pretty good.
Sure, it can.
I mean, if they get the story right, and I think that's what's hard to do in a lot of games, you know, in a lot of single player games, is to get that story right. And, you know, if you're not a big budget, you know, studio.
It's hard. It is. I get it. We're just not there yet with a lot of them. But I mean, some games are doing storylines, right? I'm trying to think which one had. Oh, the Call the Starseed. I really like theirs, and I've really been getting into. I picked up Abduction, in the Steam sale.
Yeah.
And man, I'm really into that because I need really hard puzzles to keep me entertained.
I need really easy ones.
I really like that. Yeah, I need to help you with really hard puzzles usually. But I really do. In that game, to me, is on point, like with the puzzles and stuff.
I actually haven't played
I've been a
Abduction.
fan of Myst and everything else for years, so it does. It's like that. But it was super cheap. I think it was like $8 or something on the Steam sale.
Yeah, I mean there was so much stuff on Steam for cheap that it was crazy. Another one that we might have talked about last time, I'm not sure, but the time-traveling Navy SEAL Ninja Warrior, which the dev for that we've actually had in our chat and stuff quite a few times. We've talked about his game and showed his trailer. That game is out now on Steam, so feel free to.
It actually dropped? I didn't know that.
It is out.
Oh, man,
so,
I actually didn't know that.
Yep, it is out on Steam, so make sure to check that out. He is one of the locals that comes on here quite a bit. Cool. I don't know if he's on here tonight. We're missing a lot of people because this is a very irregular time for our show. But
sure we are. We have probably people who normally don't join us in chat, and I'm glad you guys are here, by the way.
Yeah,
if you are. We appreciate any questions. We try and reach as much as we can, but some nights we have way too much stuff to cover.
Yeah.
We don't have any guests coming on tonight, so we did have a lot of videos and content and stuff to show you guys. So
and check out some of our past streams too, because we did have Anton Hand on. That was the developer of H3VR. Last weekend we had one of the developers from Ninja Legends.
Yeah. David.
Yeah. Yep. So check that out. But I'm trying to find.
Yeah, we've got some coming up that I'm not really going to say too much about, but some guys we're really excited to have on here. But keep an eye out for those; they'll be coming. But what are you looking for now?
I was trying to see the price where his game. I believe it's like $8.99. I was trying to just share that real quick. Huh. So that is it's $8.99. That's on the Oculus Store and on Steam. So be sure to check that out. We've showed trailers on that quite a few times. So that is really cool.
I didn't even know it actually dropped.
Yeah, I think it dropped last week, I believe. Last week I think it came out. So.
Oh, nice. Huh. That's crazy. Well, let's see. What else did we have?
All kinds of stuff.
I know. I was trying to look through a couple things here.
So we do also have. Go ahead. What you got?
The Bullet Roulette.
Oh yeah, I didn't get the trailer for that though.
Oh,
but
you didn't?
It does look cool. I can try to see if I can find it on Steam here. But it actually does look pretty cool. It is basically Russian roulette in VR, and you're basically sitting at a table, and I mean it looks kind of interesting. I did see this, and I sent you the link.
Which I can't believe. We found out that what was it? Telefrag is 1-on-1. I
believe so. I haven't been in that yet either. The reviews were kind of mixed.
I didn't think that was going to be 1-on-1. Here you go. Yeah.
So let me pull up the web browser here. So this is Bullet Roulette.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet though.
So this could be a good time, especially if they do it kind of like Poker Stars.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Because I mean, if you see there's the the people you can smoke a cigar, and you got the pipe and all that kind of stuff. So.
It reminds me of like loading into Dead and Buried, like the original one, when you're all standing around a table.
Oh yeah.
Like a little bit, and like mix that with Poker Stars, maybe something like that. But yeah, it would be fun. It'd be funny. It'd be cool if it was like just random lobbies too. Yeah. Like once you died or something, or once it was over, you just got into another one.
Yeah. So I mean, the whole point of the game is to be the last man standing, the last one alive. So it says 4 suspicious persons with mysterious past are sitting around the table in the gloomy dark bar playing Russian roulette. Beware of other players because they don't look like someone who planned to play fair. Be tricky and become the last survivor. So we don't know much about it. It says planned release date of September 18th. So yeah.
Which isn't that far out really now. That really isn't. So yeah, it's kind of cool. Be fun.
It might be
Depends on where it goes.
I mean, it was one of them games that could be kind of hilarious depending on how they do the gameplay.
Sure.
I could see us being in here just cracking up laughing the whole time of just ridiculous stuff. You know what I mean?
Well, sometimes the simplest stuff become like hilarious.
So this is what we need to do. This is what we need to do.
Oh, no.
So we're gonna see.
This is why we don't do Friday shows. By the way.
We're gonna see who wants to special guest. We're going to get, I think it's 4 players. We're going to have 4 people sign up as being a special guest. All 4 of them are going to go in there, and they're going to play Russian roulette, and the last man standing is one to come on the show.
There you go. Fight it out.
That'd be hilarious.
Oh man.
But yeah, it looks kind of cool.
Yeah,
so the other one that I wanted to talk about was, and I think we talked about it a little bit last week, is the ESVR, Emergency Services Virtual Reality. And I believe the dev of VReady, I believe he might be helping him some, and I'm not sure. I see him on his Discord channel as well. So I mean, if he's still in here, he can let me know. But I think he's helped him do a little bit of design work and maybe some graphic stuff in there. But he does have a new trailer out as well, which I think this game looks really cool. I mean, it's.
I know.
I mean, everybody wants.
And the more
to
he works on it, the better. It looks better and better every single time. Too.
I mean, everybody wanted to be a police officer or firefighter or something like that. As a child, and this kind of game kind of lets you relive those childhood fantasies of being a police officer. And again, this is early in development, and I believe there is a build for this as well on his Discord. I don't know if we put his Discord in the description. We might have to.
No. You know what? I think I did actually.
Okay. But before, it was just, I think the only thing we saw before on the last trailer that we showed was just driving the cop car and pulling somebody over. So this one does have, a lot more elements to it where you're getting a shootout, there's a fire. I think I saw something on his Discord where there's a cat stuck in a tree and you have to save the cat because I think somebody requested that. So, which
Can you just shoot it?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Well, you probably show up as a firefighter. So I'm guessing that's like the firefighter aspect instead of the police officer. Like, this is pretty cool, where you actually have to bust down the door. You have the helmet and everything on like a firefighter would.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, it does. I mean, mechanics-wise, it's getting way better now.
Yeah. I mean, done right, this could be really good. So, and I'm not sure if that one dev. Yep, he's still in here. So he said, "Hey, yeah, we are working on it daily. I'm a good friend of Studio VR. I'm an artist. Yeah, here's the Discord." Okay, so he's gonna put actually Studio VR. So I didn't realize that, but he must be the dev, the main guy for this one. So and he's in here as well. So that's pretty awesome. So
that's super cool.
I guess you can ask him questions as well. So he is that Studio VR. So feel free to ask him or Nielsen, the one that was the developer of VReady, because they're both working on this, so they should be able to answer any questions that you do have. So, there's his name right there. Is a 2D, 3D artist.
Yep, nice.
I guess I should have watched the end credits. Nobody ever watches the end credits, and I didn't either. So.
I have the YouTube link to the video in the description is what I had, which you may be able to find it inside of that description too. But it is in the chat now, so definitely grab it out of there.
So I'm excited about this. I mean, I've literally wanted to be a police officer when I was a little kid. So, playing cops and robbers and everything else. Yeah, well, I think we talked about it last time we showed this, that you guys watched that
Live PD
all the time, and I've watched that with you guys at your house before quite a few times, actually.
I mean, that's why I have to get off here soon because 9 o'clock starts here.
That's true. Is it almost 9 o'clock? Oh my goodness.
Is it?
Time flies when we're having fun.
Yeah.
But
we're getting there.
So make sure you join both of their Discords because both of these games are definitely looking really good, and I'm excited about these. I've seen some other cop kind of simulator stuff in VR a little bit here and there, but I think this one looks really good. Like this one's got a lot of potential.
There was that one called Dispatch that was more like a detective.
That was like just like a weird visually kind of simulator.
Yeah.
It wasn't like any kind of simulator. Like it wasn't kind of it wasn't any kind of thing like that. It was like a 911 dispatcher. You were kind of hearing the background of a 911 call and kind of being played out.
And you had to watch videos and figure it out or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah,
the fire truck, the ladder goes up. That's awesome.
Yeah, so this is awesome. And I believe he has a build out too on itch.io. So if you get on the Discord, I believe you can get in on some early beta testing on this as well. And I'm sure these are both planned to be released on Steam as well. So, but they're just early right now.
It'd be cool if you went into the smoke and you slowly started, your vision started going you can't see. And and I know this happens because I've been a big part of fire department stuff here, is that when you go into buildings, the smoke is up above. So what you actually have to do in real fires, you actually crouch and get under the smoke and you can see.
Huh.
So stuff like that would be really cool in VR.
If you actually had to get on all fours, if you were in the building too long and things were getting a little hairy.
Lean way down and look under the smoke and stuff. That's getting really, Yeah,
that's pretty intense.
But exactly. But that's pretty cool. I mean, stuff you could be doing like that, you know?
For sure.
It's awesome. Yeah, that's cool. Even the streets and the maps and stuff they have.
Yep, so he said Steam release is on the way, so that is planned on a Steam release. So that is awesome.
Nice, that's awesome.
Looking forward to that.
Cool.
Oh, almost knocked over my chip cup. If I break that, my wife is going to kill me. That's because I'm tweaking out. I've had 4 cups of coffee today.
Me too.
I don't normally drink coffee at 9 o'clock at night, and I got 2 cups in front of me. I should have told you that. Now you know my secret. That's awesome. So,
okay.
R. Gambo said, isn't the guy from VR Roundtable an ex-Popo? And I'm not sure. I think maybe
I don't know.
Maybe Gary is. That sounds
Really?
kind of right. I'm not exactly sure, but that does sound right.
Huh,
So.
didn't know that. That's kind of cool.
So
Nice.
he said, Studio VR said smoke also deals health damage, and it does behave like what you've described. So that's pretty cool. So what you were saying, it does behave
is
like that
really
smoke.
cool.
So, and I haven't been in this yet. I haven't done a lot with the itch.io. So I need to mess around with that some and try these two out.
So do you have any like experience in this being a developer, or are you just doing this, I'm curious, just from a want to,
Yeah.
or something in the market, hole in it?
Yeah. So
but
if,
yeah,
if he has any
looks
like
good.
first responder experience or anything, I'm not sure.
Yeah, because a lot of this stuff, some of it you wouldn't know unless you actually did it. Just
Yeah.
like maybe the smoke.
Well, just like what
and
you were
I'm not
saying.
you can't do
I
research,
mean, smoke rises, but that's not something that I think about. Like I don't think about
Sure.
going in to fight a fire that I need to go low. You know what I mean? Until you're in an experience
Yep.
like that. I've never been in a house that's on fire, but he said that he said you can duck under the smoke to see better, which is awesome, like you were saying.
That
and he
is.
said if you're
That's
not
awesome.
wearing your SCBA, it will deal damage.
Yeah, that's
So he said
cool, though.
don't breathe in the smoke. So that's really awesome. That's really cool.
Yeah, that
So,
is.
Yeah. So make sure you
Actually,
join their Discords.
My dad was on the fire department stuff growing up, and I experienced a lot through that as well. And it's crazy. There was a gas leak inside of a house, and they couldn't find it, so he took his mask off and actually burned his lungs.
Oh my goodness.
And he still has like a slight cough from it and stuff, but they couldn't find where the leak was and stuff, and it like overwhelmed him, when he took the mask off. So
Right.
it's crazy, what stuff like that can do to you. And you see it and you watch stuff on TV and you think, oh, they just go in and put out a fire or something.
All right. There's
It's
a lot
not
more
like that
to
at
it.
all.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
very involved. It's crazy.
So Paradise Decay said Mike from
you for
VReality is ex-police, and he said, and Paradise Decay is a police volunteer, 9 years now. So that's pretty
Nice.
awesome.
Oh, that's cool. Very nice.
Yeah. So he said,
I want to go
studio.
out with PD sometime.
Yeah. The only problem is he's in another country.
I don't care.
If we ever
Give
go
me
to
a
UK,
reason to go
yeah,
there,
let's
man.
go to UK.
I'm
You're
going.
all about
I'm
them kind
going.
of cars and stuff anyway. So
Oh man, that's what the show tomorrow that I have to go to. It's an all British show.
Yeah.
And there'll be like 600 cars there.
we need some 360 video. We need some 360 video of that. Putting
I
it
know.
out there. So Studio VR said
Stressed.
we've got a ton of consultants with about 40 years combined experience across various hazmat, airport, commercial, residential, you name it. So obviously, they know what they're doing. There's a lot of people with a lot of experience. So probably why the smoke reacts the way it does, and you can go under the smoke
Sure.
because they know that
Yeah.
kind of stuff. So
Are you guys trying to get this into like some type of training as well? Have you guys thought about that, or are you just
Yeah.
wanting to make it more of a game? I wonder, which direction.
yeah, that's a good
Because the
point.
training stuff,
VR is an
that's-
excellent training simulator. I mean, we know that.
it's hard. With actual like fire and stuff, it's tough because
Yeah.
you have so many real life things that change so fast and physically demanding things that's hard to simulate in VR.
Yeah.
But the experiences and knowing what to do and where to go, what doors feel warm on one side or the other, you can't, some of it you can't simulate in VR, but
Right.
some you could. So
And you just
it
need to
would
put
be-
like a propane torpedo heater right in front of you while you play. When you're going
Sure.
to the burning house, because that ultimately, yeah.
yeah, singe all the hairs off my hand. Yeah, I'm not that real. We don't need to get that involved.
Yeah. So he said it's been a huge help making things more accurate, which, yeah, that's really, that really does help.
yeah.
That makes a lot of difference, I'm sure.
Oh, for sure. I like the helmet and stuff too. That's awesome.
Yeah. I do like that too. That is really
I know.
cool.
As a cop, can I put sunglasses on? That would be
that'd be cool.
awesome.
But you don't want it to I guess you could almost tint have it a little darker, but
Sure you could, yeah. It'd be awesome. Just see like the edge of the frames.
yeah, that is really cool. So definitely join those Discords and check those out if you guys haven't seen those games yet, because they are
Yeah, they're definitely
on the
working
way.
hard.
Yeah, so he said, but
We've
we
got a lot of
mostly
devs pushing.
yeah, so he said they mostly want to make a fun sim light for the moment. So
Sure.
yeah,
I think that's good though, because I think it gives awareness as well.
yeah,
That people don't realize like what you have to go through, in those
Yeah.
types of jobs. So it's definitely a good thing, Bringing awareness can be just as big as an actual
Yeah.
sim for helping people train. So
and it's fun.
super cool.
It's fun to play.
My one of my favorite early ones, which I'm trying to think what this was even on, was there was an autism like experience. So,
Yeah, I
so my
never did that.
nephew,
I
who
do remember
actually was
seeing
in
that.
chat earlier, I don't
Yeah,
know
I saw
if you noticed,
him.
he actually said hi to you.
I said
he
hi
is
back.
Sean's biggest fan. Like, I'm not
I
kidding.
have
you.
a fan. That's awesome.
I know he did a mock video of him the one time because he likes to watch us. And
Yeah,
stuff.
he watched
and
our
Sean did me
show,
a
so
favor.
so we got on with him, and he was at Tyler's house, so we had notes of a show we were gonna do and everything. So me and him just ran through a little show. It was really awesome. Really, it was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was. He was a great guest to have on for sure.
Yeah.
But he ends up watching and stuff. But they had he's autistic to a degree, and it really gave you this awesome real life like knowledge of what they feel and see to us may not bother us, but like things were intensified. And it's an experience that you could never just figure out or realize by somebody even telling you, and when you're in this, and I forget what it was on. It was on the CV1, I think, maybe.
Was it on Steam or Oculus Store? Do you remember?
I don't even remember.
I remember
actually.
seeing it.
I think
but
it was
don't-
Oculus.
And maybe somebody knows what we're
think it
talking
was-
about. And all that.
I think it was Oculus. But you were sitting like at this restaurant, like up at a bar, and like everything was normal, and then all of a sudden, like a faucet was dripping, and the faucet was dripping, and it like intensified and got really loud, and was like, whoa, like it started to make you a little, nervous and stuff. And then like the fireplace and the flames were like blowing up the wall and like flickering and stuff, and like sounds that people were making were just multiplied over and over, and you
Yeah.
got this super anxious feeling, and you're like, wow, like I get now why certain things can bother and are okay with, and vice versa. So it's really cool experiences like that, like just like the emergency simulator stuff that you would never get to know or experience without
Right.
that. So,
We'll have to find that
really
link.
cool.
We'll have to find that link. We'll have to add it to the video description afterwards.
Yeah, it was a free thing. It was super simple, but just that kind of awareness, I don't think people actually know. And even myself, even with him growing up around me and stuff, you just don't realize,
Yeah.
So
For
really
sure.
cool stuff.
Yeah,
I
there-
love it. Yeah.
I mean, that's one of the powerful things about VR. There's just so many things that can be experienced and stuff that,
Sure.
yeah.
Yeah,
It's
whether you want to
definitely-
drive a car around a track that you could never visit, or
Yeah.
shoot guns, or simple stuff we take for granted now that we've been in VR for so long.
Yeah. sure.
We're used to it. So yeah.
And Jason is also in chat and said, hoping to push a patch to day to night this weekend. So that'll be
Nice. I'm waiting on that. I'm excited to get in.
I know. I can't wait for that, and both of his games to be done. Really.
I
Very
know.
much looking forward
Yep.
to it.
Actually, though, I'm really excited. Like before, I was super excited for Drop In, and the day to night. Now that I know what it is, and I discovered more inside the game than I thought there even
Yeah.
was. Now I'm really excited about
Oh,
that.
yeah.
So I can't wait to get back into there. And
We're
I know
gonna
he's
have to talk
working on
about
the
that some
multiplayer.
more soon too. Yeah, we're gonna have to get some more
Yep.
video up of that.
Once
for
he
sure.
once he has a solid build and stuff out, I'd really like to have him on. So
Yeah.
if you are listening, Jason, we'd love to have you on once you have a polished product that we could probably show off. So
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
It's
definitely.
getting there.
I know, I'm
He's been putting
Oh,
out a
it's
lot
close.
of updates, so it's really getting there.
yeah.
So
For sure.
another thing that did launch recently is the Mozilla Firefox on Quest, and so you have another
That's
another
right.
option for a web browser. And I guess a lot of things
Yeah.
people are talking about with that is that it has tracking data protection. So that's something
Right.
added on, that your regular Oculus browser isn't going to have. And I mean, Oculus is owned by Facebook, so I mean, it's kind of crazy at this day and age that we really even have to worry about that stuff. But I mean, everything you do, like I mean, if you do, anything that I search on Amazon, I get ads for an Instagram. You know what I mean? Like, so I mean, it is kind of nice to, have that extra layer of protection, I suppose. And I mean, some people worry about it, and some people don't care. I mean, it is what it is, but
Yeah.
it's a nice element.
I think it was on our last show, I think David was talking about how there was at the place where he rented VR space to test out their builds and stuff on all the different headsets.
Yeah.
That they had an event that they were testing out the, what do you want to call it? Like the backdoor access for hackers into VR. Remember?
crazy,
And he
yeah.
said that it was as simple as joining a room
Your home, your Oculus home, or like
inviting
your,
somebody to your home,
Steam
and they
home.
had full access to your computer.
Yeah,
then
they
at
could
that
basically
point.
take your computer over just by having access into your room space in VR. They could basically take your computer over. And I mean, I
So
think that some of that
security's a
stuff has
big
been
thing.
patched, but it was an issue
Sure.
that they could easily do. It was no problem for them to do. So, which is kind of scary,
which is crazy.
super scary.
But it's good to hear, like, Mozilla working on, security stuff as well, because it is a serious issue. And it's, the more headsets are out there, the worse it's going to be. Now, standalone stuff like the Quest, really, there's nothing that somebody's going to be able to access on that. But when it's tied to your PC, that has all your login information, that may have saved
Bank
passwords,
accounts,
stuff like that.
all kinds of stuff.
Anything.
You never know.
Then that's huge. So, yeah, that hopefully they're on that. I mean, Facebook. I mean, speaking of security, they better know what they're doing. They'll be in trouble again.
So Paradise Decay said, I played Raccoon Lagoon today. Really, really fun game. It's Animal Crossing in VR. Did you do a video on that? Did you do a video on that yet, Paradise Decay? I missed that one.
Yeah, I didn't see his video if he did.
So
but yeah, it does. It does look like Animal Crossing.
Upload VR did one. I haven't tried that. It was yeah. It wasn't something that like really caught my attention. That it was like, oh, I got to play this, but I'll have to check that out.
Some people really like that stuff. I mean, it looks like it'd be casually fun. So yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So I don't see his video yet, but I'm sure he will have one. So check out Paradise Decay's channel because he does a video on just about every game out there. So he's probably played more VR games. Yeah, he's probably played more VR games than anybody. I mean, definitely anybody I know. I've definitely not played as many VR games as he has. He plays literally everything. So he said the video is coming Sunday. So if you want to watch for that video, check out Paradise Decay's channel.
Nice. I'll have to jump in and watch. Yeah. Yeah, it's nice because I think, what was the last one? Oh, the Bullet game. I think, was I in that one when he premiered that? I think so.
Yeah.
And it was nice to be able to see and stuff, because I that's one game I really want to get my hands on and stuff. Is that out yet? I don't know if that's
actually. Sure. Maybe he knows. I can't remember the name of it now. I'll have to check his channel. I can't remember what the name was.
Yeah, I don't remember now either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good stuff. I think that's starting to wrap up. We talked about
most
of our notes here.
What was it? Wolfenstein
Cyberpilot. Yeah.
Yeah, Cyberpilot VR or whatever.
That is out.
Yeah, I don't know. We talked about that a little before the show even too. I mean, looks like it'd be fun.
Yeah,
it does.
It's got some mixed reviews. It's got some mixed reviews, but
I know. And it doesn't support Oculus though, but kind of works maybe, I heard. I don't know.
Does it not support Oculus?
Not sure about that. But yeah, I think it says Oculus isn't supported, but I think people are getting it to work. But again, like the stuff like Revive and everything, people were asking me. So somebody in our Discord actually made a really, really good write-up.
Yeah.
And they posted it to our Discord.
And that was a write-up about the Valve. Yeah, that was like a month after having it or something like that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And after, he had first impressions and he was, really not nervous about it, but was on the fence about it. And I think he even thought about returning it right away. And now he loves it, but he laid out everything, that he thought about it from the time of purchasing up until probably now, and why he likes it and what things he thinks could be improved on and stuff. Really great write-up.
Yeah.
But he did list inside of it me as a contact, because I gave the recommendation, and it was on our show actually, that to get things to work with the index controllers, you can actually play through Revive to get it to work on Oculus games.
Right.
So like Rec Room, I had a big issue with. Did not work in Steam VR. I couldn't get it to work with the index controllers. Some of the controls were missing. So I literally ran Revive, downloaded it on the Oculus Store, and played it perfectly through Revive.
Yeah.
Yes, from the Oculus Store. So it only works with games that are on the Oculus Store. And I think maybe that's where some people got confused. You can't run Revive to play Steam games. You're only accessing your Oculus games.
Correct.
So, for free games like Poker Stars, it worked great. I've used it in that. Rec Room, stuff like that. And those are all free. So, you can kind of see what it does. So don't be afraid to buy games on the Oculus Store if all you have is an index.
Yeah, because they almost work better than some of the stuff on Steam. If it doesn't have native index controller support,
Yep, Defector, I played it right out of the box with the index controller.
Yep.
I didn't have to change anything. Controls work, no problem. I had one of the settings messed up for my turning. And actually, I think it was PD that said that there is a setting inside the menu. I think he said in chat.
And he said that game is Drift. That bullet game you were talking about is Drift. Yep. So that was
Yeah,
one that
yeah.
you played back on Gear VR a long time ago. And I don't know if it was the exact same game. Was it the same game? Just a remake, or was it called something different? I can't remember what it was called.
No, it was called that. It was called that, but not the same game. It was more of like a project build back then that was released as a game.
Yeah.
But it was just through VR Jam. So VR Jam was a contest back then. I don't think they even still run that anymore.
I don't know.
But it was a contest where you could build a game, and they would choose like the top game, basically, who got the most votes, and they felt it was the best game, won like $5,000, let's say, and then 2 and 3 won like 1,000, and then the next 10 got honorable mentions or something. But it was a great thing for developers to get publicity out there as well. So it was really cool because you saw all different kinds of experiences, games, and that one was my absolute favorite that year for the VR Jam, and I played it over and over again.
That was
you
cool.
loved it.
Yeah,
it was
I loved
one
it.
of your first experiences, I think.
Yeah.
Really, probably.
Probably,
VR.
yeah, it probably was.
One of the early. That was actually a game that took you totally out of the normal.
Right.
Put you somewhere that you couldn't actually be in another type of game or situation in real life.
Yep.
But yeah.
So Paradise Decay said Cyberpilot works fine on Rift S. It's the rest of the game that's the problem. And if you look at the Steam page, it doesn't list the Oculus Rift. It says VR supported headsets are the Valve Index, the HTC Vive, and Windows Mixed Reality. But he said it does work. He said Vertigo 2 demo from a 16-year-old has more polish than a AAA game developer, i.e. Bethesda. So that's pretty, yeah. So he has a video coming out tomorrow, I think he said, on Cyberpilot. Yeah, Cyberpilot tomorrow.
Oh, good.
So
nice, cool.
Check that
That's
out.
awesome. Yeah, I definitely want to see it. I want to see somebody play it. I want to see how it is. I don't know. It's not one I don't think I'm gonna get into.
I'm not super excited about it, to be honest.
Not really. I know. Nothing grabs me from it.
So if you look at the reviews are mostly negative.
Really?
So yeah,
that's too bad.
Yeah, most of them are all negative. Well, not all of them. There are some positives too, but there are a lot of negative reviews. So yeah, check it out. Let us know how it is. I don't know that I'll check that one out right away. I have some other games that I want to get into first that are higher on my list. So
I know. No Man's Sky. I'm banking on that coming out, man.
Yeah.
I want to play that.
It's gonna be soon.
I really
think
do.
It's gonna be soon. Hopefully.
I need to put a link to Revive for people. That's a super simple thing to do too. Like if anybody's debating trying to do that, even with any other headset,
Windows
you have
Mixed
a
Reality,
Vive.
Vive.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
it works great.
Yeah,
it
Windows
works
Mixed
great.
Reality. Yep, it really, really does.
Yep.
It's the best solution I found actually for the index controller problem with games. And we had that issue. We both wanted to play Seeking Dawn.
Right.
And we
bought it on
that,
Steam
and,
sale.
'cause we did. We wanted to go play something co-op that we hadn't really got to play and had a lot of colors and stuff.
We
and
played
I
the
thought,
demo.
Man, this would be
There was a
really great on
demo or
index.
something out of that, or a free play something. We did do that back in the day, but yeah, but we're like,
Yeah.
oh man, we
Well,
just
we
got
thought
the
it'd be
index.
fun.
This is on sale. Let's go and check
Yep.
this out, and it just wasn't working right. So
I
we bailed on that, and
Yeah,
I think we played some Contractors. We went
Probably.
to our bread and butter.
Oh, sure. Went in with our index controllers and messed with everybody in the lobbies, probably.
Yeah. Yep. So everybody's praising
sure.
No Man's Sky. Paradise Decay said could be the greatest VR game available. It has unlimited possibilities, and it really does. I mean, that's gonna be one of those games that could just.
I know nothing about the game. Like,
I've never played it.
I don't want to know anything.
I've watched
I
some
know the
videos.
basis of it. Mm-hmm. But what's that?
I said I've watched some videos, but I've never played it. Like me and you both bought it already. We both have it in our Steam library, but have not opened it because I'm not going to until the VR Sport is out. I have no
me,
interest in playing it
like
flat.
like a more interactive Elite Dangerous.
Way more.
And I think that was your complaint about Elite Dangerous, is that it was just too involved to learn how to fly a ship and what you were doing, and took too long to get the controls and all that stuff. So I feel like this is going to be a jump in, and it's going to be way more comfortable and stuff.
Yeah, I like the exploring aspect and everything. That's one thing, and the multiplayer. I mean, just the fact that it has multiplayer, like that is, I mean, it's just going to be epic.
I'm curious how big and how vast like the multiplayer is. Like, can you team up with people, or are you just around people? I really don't know.
I'm sure you can team up with people.
Yet.
Yeah, I don't know because I haven't played.
I'm sure.
But yeah, I'm sure you can team up with people. But
see, I like not knowing all this
so
stuff.
So Paradise
sometimes.
Decay said I have 160 hours in No Man's Sky's Pancake from launch.
Wow. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Interesting.
Yeah, so Studio VR said got a ton of Pancake hours in No Man's Sky myself. So a lot of people have played it. I mean, it's a pretty big title anyways. You know what I mean? So to come to VR, like, we're just not Pancake players really anymore, or
Exactly.
So
I literally haven't played. I mean, I did pick up Forza Horizon 4 just because they had my TR6 in it, and I was excited. That was literally the only reason.
That was probably the last flight game you bought, right?
That's the last game I bought, but like that I really played. I don't even know what game I last played. I mean,
a lot of I don't know.
Since I had the CV1, I mean, I don't know if I've really sat
I think
down
we
and had
played
a
a
good
little
playthrough.
bit of Halo because our one friend Dave always wanted to play Halo when the CV1 back in the day. We played a little bit, but it didn't hold our attention for
Fortnite.
very long.
Okay, I played Fortnite.
Yeah, we did play a little
I
bit
did
of
play
Fortnite when that
after the
first
fact,
came out.
after
Yeah, when
that.
that first came
Right.
out.
But man, I mean, past that, I'm really excited for. I think Population 1 is really gonna, I mean, not put a hurt. I mean, I think it could draw people from flat gaming that are into just like Fortnite and stuff, and draw them into VR if done right.
Yeah, I think so
And
too.
I
I mean, if it's
actually
somebody that
have-
loves it in flat, I mean, you're used to playing the game, watching the game, but now you can play the game being in the game. You know what I mean? Like for me,
know.
if I was into a game that much on flat, it would definitely make me want to get VR to experience that game on another level that I've never experienced it on before.
And I think people are realizing that now. I really do. I think slowly, you know, the more stuff that's out there, but you can't watch anything to experience it. That's the hard part. You know, you can't ever explain or tell somebody enough of what it is in the experience because you have to feel it for yourself. So that's the hard part, is getting people over that hump, you know. But I think bringing those games, especially ones that are flat first, you know, look at all the sim people who have played Sims for years and running triple monitors and stuff. They are all going to VR because they know how amazing it is, and everybody else that they play with and videos that they watch are like, it's unbelievable in VR. And now with these, you know, higher visual headsets, it's even better. You know, I need to get back into X-Plane. I really want to see that with now the higher resolution index.
That's true. That was,
I haven't seen that. I mean, that has to be incredible now.
Yeah,
I mean, with
for
all
real.
the dials now being all fully readable,
You can
and
read
everything.
them. Yeah, that was one of the biggest issues before when I would go
Yeah.
in there. Like, it was really hard to read anything, and there's so many switches and dials and so many things, and not everything's labeled still, you know what I mean? But there are some things that are, and it's just, you know, it'd be so much better to be able to actually read things now in that game.
Yeah.
So
I wonder if they have or Knuckles support in that yet.
I don't know, probably
maybe
not.
not.
Probably
Yeah,
not.
probably not. They were a little slow on the updates, I know,
Yeah.
for VR stuff. It wasn't priority, but yeah.
True that.
But the sim stuff, super cool. We need to get some racing in, man.
Yeah, we do. We will.
Sunday.
We
Let's
will.
do some Sunday racing. Come on.
Maybe. The bad thing is we're out of town this weekend, and then we have some family
Here
coming
we
in
go.
from out of town to stay this whole following week. So we'll see what happens. It's going to be kind of crazy, but we'll get in there.
I get
I'm
it.
definitely going to get into some VR at some point for sure. So
Well, you can join the rest of us
Uh-oh.
on Sunday.
hopefully some people are watching chat. That's all I have to say. Oh man, I totally forgot. So
Oh, no.
so hopefully
Now
some people
what?
are watching some chat, and as you're watching chat, we'll give you a second to see what's going
I'm
on
watching
in there.
chat.
Do you see what I
Let's
saw?
see what's in chat.
Did you
No.
see? You didn't see?
What? No. Oh,
Yeah, okay.
I did see that.
And I totally
want
forgot
that.
again. We forgot about some stuff last weekend, and so
Yeah,
I'm
you
just going to
did.
go ahead and pop it up now because I totally forgot about it last weekend, and I almost forgot about it today as well. So this is a Star
know.
Trek Bridge Crew Steam code, and this is courtesy of the VR Mang, right?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, he picked up a bunch of games on the Green Man sale.
Yep.
And he got duplicates of stuff he already has and stuff, and he was super nice enough to donate them to you guys. So we are passing these along to you. I actually don't even have this game myself, so we are literally just giving these to you from him. So thank you to that. We do really appreciate it, and appreciate everyone like in our community and stuff on Discord. It's crazy how like I could literally just spend all day probably on our Discord like talking to people. It's pretty awesome.
Oh yeah, it is. It's awesome.
Really
I
good,
check
I
it. I
know.
try to check it all the time, and there's a lot of stuff
I know,
going
I
on
try
in there.
to,
So
too.
it's a good
I
time.
know. It's
So-
always bad.
so
I try and
hopefully-
keep up on it, but it's hard.
Hopefully somebody got that, and as well, there is a key to day to night in there as well in the chat. That was the one I mentioned in chat. I'm guessing somebody got that by now. Lee
Yeah,
Tobin
sure.
said someone was fast, so it is hard. It is hard to get these. They do people scoop these up really quick. But we do have one more
yeah.
for you. We do have one more, just in case you missed the other two. And this is Adrift. This is another, I believe, Steam code.
Yep.
Right? Yeah, Steam
And
code.
we don't, and we know there's some lag, you know, for some people and stuff.
Yeah,
and we
it's
do,
tough.
you know, apologize for that. We just, you know, it's the easiest way for us to hook you guys up with some free stuff.
Yeah, and we do
and
every
like
once in a
tonight, I
while too. We put them in our Discord as well every once in a while, so you can watch the Discord, the giveaway section. We do try to do stuff in there every once in a while.
Yep, we do. And we really appreciate the developers and stuff, you know, kind of passing them down and spreading the word about their game and, you know, and giving them out to us to give out. It's really, you know, it's a good way for developers to connect too with people because,
Yep.
you know, a lot of these developers, I mean, what they have 3 or 4 or 5 views on a video that they put out of their alpha build, you know,
Yeah.
it's so hard to get stuff out there. So
Right.
it's nice to be able to give them a jump off, you know, platform for them to be able to show stuff.
Yeah,
But yeah,
for sure, definitely.
but yeah, it's awesome. Day to night, man. I'm going to get in some of that too.
Slayblaze got that. Slayblaze got that.
I'm counting on you. I'm counting on you, Jason. Get that build out, man.
We'll get in there.
It's awesome.
It's going to be awesome. So I think that's pretty much all we got for today. Our Friday night live stream. So hopefully next weekend we'll be back to Saturday morning, I believe. But if you follow the Discord, we try to keep you up to date as much as we can. We both work full time, so it's really hard to plan everything out too far ahead of time. And, you know, it's sometimes just we're flying by the seat of our pants at, you know, exactly when it'll work for both of us. But
the more likes we get and the more you guys push our videos out and help us too, maybe we will do this full time.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
That'd
be nice, but yeah. So Studio VR said, I got Steam keys for days. So he said he'll have to do a Steam or a key giveaway with us too. So that'll be awesome. So as soon as we get those, we will let you guys know and put them out there. So and definitely join their Discords. Join the Discords for
for sure
for both of those games. So and
links
are in the description.
Yeah, new to Discord or new to VR in general, definitely grab Discord. It's going to be your number one place to connect with, you know, individual communities, developers, guys like us, you know, our channel.
People just looking to play too. A lot of times, if you're just looking to play and you don't have anybody to play with, it's easy to find people on the Discord that are wanting to play. So.
Yeah, you can jump on Index Discord and, like, you know, grab people or say, hey, anybody looking to play or anything, you know, it is. It's really nice.
Yeah,
chat,
awesome.
Private chat. You can private chat with people.
Yep. And that's a lot of times that's what me and you did, especially from the beginning. You know, when you go into a game together, we would go into a Discord, you know, chat together and talk in there. And then, you know, you play the game and you don't have to have
games don't really have, like, you know, multiplayer lobbies or, you know, where your friends are in that you can talk to while you're loading and in menus. And this
you change games.
To do that.
I mean, we can change games where we can talk to each other the whole time, which I'm sure everybody in here knows about Discord. But if you don't, if you are new to VR and you're just learning all this stuff, definitely pick up Discord. So.
Yeah, if we hook up one person with Discord, just teaching them about that. It's because we didn't know for the longest time, and people that were playing flat games have been using it forever. And I kind of knew about it from then, but, you know, never really used it. So yeah.
Awesome. Well, we definitely appreciate everybody. We appreciate all the developers being in chat. We were glad we got to talk about your games a little bit and the upcoming stuff with those. And that is VReady and Emergency Services Virtual Reality.
I can't wait to check that one out.
Yeah, so definitely get on their Discords. They have links to the itch.io downloads. You can check those out now and give them some feedback because it is still early development. So help them out, give them some feedback and let them know, you know, issues you run into or ideas you have. I mean, they're always open to ideas. So.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it helps. I mean, because you can't think of everything. I mean, you get stuck sitting in front of a monitor trying to design, you know, and when people get their hands on it, they do come up with good ideas and stuff and think outside the box. So yeah.
Definitely.
Yep.
All right, well, we will see you back here next weekend, and make sure you have your coffee ready. It is mandatory. So.
Yep, and keep an eye on our Discord as well for a little play session maybe, too. So
don't leave me out again.
Definitely keep it locked there.
Killing me. Hopefully there'll be no more trips in my near future, so I should be home for some weekend. Right. And the moving is starting to slow down, so things are getting unpacked. The VR room is getting set up, so... But all right.
Yeah, you're getting there. It's looking good, man.
It's getting there.
I like it.
So, all right. Well, we appreciate all of you guys being here, and we will definitely see you guys next weekend.
Yeah. Yep. See you back here or see you guys in VR. Later.